Another step toward closure for families of the Uvalde shooting victims as the former chief of the Uvalde CISD police faces 10 criminal counts. We'll break them down.
Good morning. The final weekend of June, just hot, and an update on Tropical Storm Beryl in first warning weather.
And this 4th of July is expected to break travel records across the country. Our Erica Brenes has tips on how to prepare for your own trip. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Sarah Alsheh in for Jayla Washington. With some closure this week for the families of the 19 children killed in the Robb Elementary School mass shooting in Uvalde, saying they take some solace in the criminal charges now filed. Now, Friday, we got a look at the arrest photo of former Uvalde CISD Police Chief Pete Arredondo after a grand jury indicted him on 10 counts of child abandonment and endangerment. The charges are tied to the flawed police response that left a classroom of students alone with a mass shooter for 77 minutes. Our Ryan Chandler reports.
Everything has been against us this whole entire 2 years. It's finally something in the right track and some kind of justice for Tess and for all of her friends and the survivors.
Tess Mata's parents praising a step toward accountability more than 2 years after their daughter was shot and killed in her 4th grade classroom.
A lot of no's throughout the years, the doors being closed on us and, pushbacks. And when we heard these 2 indictments, it was like a step forward, like, hey, we got something.
Former police chief Pete Arredondo now posing for a mugshot, indicted on 10 counts of child abandonment and endangerment. The grand jury found he failed to take command and follow his training on May 24th, 2022.
You have to do your job better than what you did.
The 10 counts for 10 surviving children. Like Chloe Torres, who called 911 from the classroom, alerting police of an active threat. Law enforcement experts skeptical of the indictment.
We are now expecting superhuman results, and we're going to prosecute cops who don't deliver on those expectations. And I think that is a very slippery slope to be on.
Some calling for much more. Uvalde State Senator says the district attorney fell short. He's calling for farther consequences against DPS and Director Steve McCraw.
To have 2 cops go down for the errors of hundreds is nonsense. There should be 30, 40 indictments of the people, of the cops that were in those hallways.
But any charges are hollow comfort for parents still grieving.
I don't think anything is ever going to be enough. The only thing that we want is something that nobody can ever give us back, and that's Tess.
Ryan Chandler, KXAN News.
A Uvalde County grand jury also indicted another former police officer with Uvalde CISD in connection to the failed police response. Adrian Gonzalez, one of the first officers to enter the school, also faces felony charges of abandoning or endangering a child. Well, we saw a mix of flubs from President Biden and false claims from former President Trump during the first presidential debate. And the very next day, both candidates were back on the campaign trail. NBC's Bree Jackson has more on the debate fallout and what's next.
A more energized President Biden looking to bounce back from a lackluster debate performance during a North Carolina rally.
I know I'm not a young man. State the obvious.
The president taking a stronger tone in his verbal attacks.
Donald Trump is a one-man crime wave.
A stark contrast from Thursday night when the 81-year-old repeatedly stumbled and lost his train of thought.
Everything we have to do with,
leading some to question whether the current president is up for the job.
Joe Biden is our nominee, and he will be our nominee. End of story.
The presumptive GOP nominee holding a post-debate rally of his own in Virginia.
Not whether Joe Biden can survive a 90-minute debate performance, but whether America can survive 4 more years of crooked Joe Biden in the White House.
Former President Trump and his supporters claiming victory in the first presidential face-off.
Well, I thought President Trump was calm, strong, thoughtful.
But there were concerns about Mr. Trump's series of false statements and dodging direct questions about accepting election results.
If it's a fair and legal and good election, absolutely.
With Election Day roughly 4 months away, there are mixed reactions to the first debate.
I'm not going to judge him on one night. I'm going to judge him on 3.5 years.
We have two candidates that I am embarrassed to say are running for president of the United States.
A second debate is set for September, giving both candidates another chance to prove to voters that they deserve a second term. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
Well, the Biden team says they are all systems go for the debate in September. A campaign spokesperson says they are looking to build momentum this weekend, holding more than 1,500 events across the country.
First Warning Weather with meteorologist Rich Siegel.
Good morning. We start out with a live look from the Whittlesey Landscape Supplies camera down in southeast Austin, where we're reporting a clear to partly cloudy sky in most of the viewing area right now, and it is 80 degrees at that location. Most temperatures are in the upper 70s to 80 and 81 degree readings. It's 81 at Marble Falls, Georgetown, and also at Camp Mabry. Dew points in the low to mid 70s across most of the area, some upper 70s to an 80 degree dew point at Flatonia, leading to heat indices on the highest end in the mid to upper 80s. That 81 feels like 87. We're on our way again to some triple-digit heat, too. As we get into the mid and late afternoon hours, we'll be in the upper half of the 90s. Normal high today is 95, but we are forecasting a 100-degree high temperature for the third day in a row. The other day of the month tomorrow, as we close out June, what will it be like? The first plume of the season coming over from the Sahara, and we'll give you an update on Tropical Storm Beryl coming up in just a few minutes. Sarah?
Okay, thanks, Rich. Well, as Pride Month comes to a close, Travis County wrapped up a free week of wedding ceremonies. Now, close to 20 couples tied the knot on Friday. Last year, the county held a one-day event, but it proved so successful, leaders made it 3 days this time around. Judges waived their typical fees to celebrate the occasion.
I think moments like this are a reminder that when we celebrate love and equality, it really brings us all together.
I feel ecstatic. I feel like I have so many feelings going on right now. Like I have wanted this for a long, long time, right? And to know that it has become reality and it has become true today is a huge step for me and for us.
Well, this week marks 9 years since the U.S. Supreme Court affirmed the national right to same-sex marriage. Well, a big celebration is coming to the University of Texas campus tomorrow afternoon as the Texas Longhorns officially enter the Southeastern Conference. Officials are setting the stage for the big event, but expect heavy traffic around campus on Sunday from 1 to 10 p.m. Admission for the SEC party is free, and that includes a concert from recording artist Pitbull. We have details at KXAN.com. Mr. Worldwide in Austin. Okay.
Yes.
Do you listen to Pitbull at all?
I sure do.
Okay.
I got a good dose of him yesterday because Erica Brennis was playing Pitbull while we were doing our shows yesterday on KXN News Today and then the 7 to 9 show. So I got my...
So you're prepared. Okay.
I am ready.
Me
I don't
too.
even have to go to the celebration now because
Right.
I know the music that's going to be played.
Is the weather going to be?
The weather is just going to be hot,
Nice.
as it has been for the past few days. It's nice to have you with us here on the
Thank you.
weekend.
It's good to be here.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having me.
Now you see what we have for you today is that pool forecast. That's going to be your best bet today, the pool or the lake. Temperature 10 o'clock will be in the mid 80s. We will peak in the upper half of the 90s at most locations, and our highest heat indices this afternoon between 107 and 111. 7-day forecast comes your way in a few minutes.
Awesome. Okay. Well, coming up on KXAN News, they're creepy, they're crawly, and they might try to sneak into your house this summer. The science behind scorpion season and how you can keep them at bay.
Good morning. Arch Manning and Quinn Ewers team up to hand down some knowledge to the next generation of quarterbacks. That story and more later in sports. Keep it here.
A critical moment in the campaign, a sitting and a former president facing off, hoping to win the office.
You're the sucker. You're the loser.
He should apologize to me right now.
The stance each candidate is taking and what it means for Texas.
Our mission, number one, is to end gun violence, period.
The country's top doctor has declared gun violence a public health crisis, what the U.S. Surgeon General recommends, and the work already being done in Texas.
Our letter is asking the Biden administration to change course and to start including Texas.
Connecting the grid, the latest push from congressmen in Capitol Hill to keep the lights on in Texas during an emergency. An in-depth look this week on State of Texas. That's Sunday morning at 8:30 on KXAN.
Well, if your skin's crawling, it might be more than just the hot summer temperatures. It's scorpion season in Central Texas, so the critters are out and about, maybe even crawling into your home. KXAN's senior science reporter Eric Henriksen explores why you're likely to see scorpions more than usual this summer.
In a shop full of giant reptiles and tropical birds, it's the giant spiders and scorpions that draw attention.
The things that scare me in this world are things like cilantro and asparagus.
Dave Mellendorf first became interested in arachnids growing up near the Greenbelt.
I would go through the woods down there and I would catch black widow spiders and brown recluse spiders.
Now the manager of Zookeeper Exotic Pets spends his days surrounded by these creatures, including these.
What scorpion is this? Where is this from?
This is South African. This is a giant flat rock scorpion.
Scorpions this size aren't something we typically worry about in Central Texas.
This little guy right here, which is the one you're most likely to find. Very, very common. It has a pretty potent sting, even though it's not considered life-threatening.
19 species of scorpion live in Texas, but only 2 locally. The common striped bark scorpion and the cave scorpion.
They're not considered to be dangerous.
While the cave scorpion typically stays in the Greenbelt, the bark scorpion has a tendency to wander into our homes.
What's happening now is it's getting so hot outside, getting dry, they are seeking a cooler place to go.
Alan Brown with ABC Home and Commercial Services says their pest crews have seen more calls for scorpions this summer. Mellendorf says that our wet spring is partially to blame.
When we've had the storms, they've been like real drenchers. This brings them up to the surface.
So regular pest control helps to keep that population down.
Brown says that sealing any cracks in your home, like gaps between doors, can help keep them out. But also look up.
These guys are good climbers.
Sometimes they'll drop off and they'll go in through the attic.
While their sting isn't typically dangerous to humans or pets, you could have an allergy.
If you start having trouble breathing or swallowing, or you start having tingling on the tongue or numbness in the face, it's time to go get checked out by the doctor and be safe.
In Austin, Eric Henriksen, KXAN News.
Wow. I'm looking up. I'm like looking around like, okay, are there any in here? Because I got goosebumps. That was very intense. Okay.
We are free of creepy crawlies in this room. We are safe.
Okay, good. I'm going to be on the lookout. But it's interesting. The weather, I guess, has an impact on them coming inside, and it's hot.
They want to get somewhere where it's cool. They want to get somewhere where there's something to drink.
Yeah.
All right. So do the rest of us, though. Good morning. We start out with a live look from the Austonian. We are seeing the sun, which came up at 6:32 this morning, hiding behind that bank of clouds that rolled in after about 7 o'clock or 5 or 6 o'clock this morning. But right now we're reporting a partly to mostly cloudy sky in downtown Austin. Yesterday, 100 degrees for the second day in a row. Today we will climb back into those triple digits in some areas. Stopping at noon, though, first we'll find most of our temperatures in the lower half of the 90s, on our way to the upper half of the 90s to a few at triple digits later on this afternoon. 9 o'clock readings will be in the upper 80s to some low 90s, with maximum heat indices during the evening up at around maybe 102 to 106 along and east of I-35. Tomorrow morning, we start out where we are this morning, mostly the mid to upper 70s to a few at 80 degrees, and then most will be in the upper half of the 90s tomorrow afternoon. There may be a little more cloud cover sticking around during the afternoon versus the decrease in the clouds that we'll see today. All right, heat indices by 10 o'clock will already be in triple digits in Fayette County, more in triple digits by noon, and then just about the entire area in east of I-35 in triple digits by 3. Staying that way until 6. So with that in mind, yet again today, a heat advisory will be in effect from 1 o'clock until 7 o'clock for San Saba, Lampasas, Williamson, Travis, and Hays counties eastward. For the highest heat indices this afternoon could get as high as 107 to 111, and I'll bet you we'll see a few of those 110s and 111s for parts of Lee, Fayette, and Bastrop counties. All right, high pressure will be in control of our weather. It actually gets over the area early in the week, and this means lower dew points during the afternoon, which translates to lower humidity on Monday afternoon and Tuesday, but then the high will take off into the southeastern part of the country briefly and then return late in the week. As far as clouds go, they'll be decreasing through the afternoon, and then by tonight a mostly clear sky, but we cloud back up tomorrow morning, and then we'll see, I think, a bit more of that cloudiness sticking around during the afternoon. The next thing that will affect our weather is this plume of African dust. Now, the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality is suggesting we may not see this until early Monday morning, but we do get a good dose of it during the early part of the week, and so that will add to the haze that we already have seen from time to time because of the agricultural burning in central and southern Mexico and Central America. As far as the air quality forecast, then today it's moderate for fine particulate matter, but that does not include any of that African dust. From the First Warning Weather Center, southerly winds at 10 to 15 and gusty this afternoon. A sunny sky by the afternoon, mostly sunny with a high of 100. Tomorrow 99, and then we are back in triple digits for the entire week. Next week included the 4th of July. Most overnight lows will be in the mid to upper 70s. But again, as we look to this forecast period from Saturday to Friday, no rain in the foreseeable future.
Welcome back to KXAN News Today. Your time is 7:23 and you're looking at a live look of Circuit of the Americas, a beautiful sunrise this Saturday morning. Well, in a case that could have huge impacts for how cities handle homelessness nationwide, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that it's not cruel and unusual punishment to fine and jail homeless people for camping on public property. Washington correspondent Maddie Biertemple has reaction to the case stemming from Oregon.
In a 6-3 decision, justices say the city of Grants Pass, Oregon can punish homeless people for sleeping on public property, even if there isn't shelter space available.
I'm disappointed.
Oregon Congresswoman Suzanne Bonamici says fining and jailing homeless people won't help them find housing.
What we really need to focus on is solutions, and this is going to make it harder for people when they have a fine or a penalty.
The court's ruling reverses a lower court decision that stopped the city from enforcing its public camping ordinances, calling it cruel and unusual punishment. Writing for the majority, Justice Neil Gorsuch said fines and jail time are not cruel or unusual because they are not designed to increase, quote, terror, pain, or disgrace, and are commonly used punishments across the country. Justice Sonia Sotomayor disagreed, writing, quote, sleep is a biological necessity, not a crime. For some people, sleeping outside is their only option.
It's a new day for California.
California Congressman Kevin Kiley praised the ruling. He says he's seen the impacts of homelessness in his own state.
You have families that have to dodge homeless encampments, walking their kids to school.
Kiley hopes this decision gives cities the tools to turn that around.
Protect public health, to guard against crime, and maybe most importantly, to get homeless individuals the help that they need.
But Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass criticized the ruling, writing, quote, it must not be used as an excuse for cities across the country to attempt to arrest their way out of this problem. In Washington, I'm Maddie Biertemple.
The Supreme Court also handed down a ruling that will make it difficult for charges to stick against rioters who stormed the nation's capital on January 6th. In a 6-3 vote, the justices handed a win to defendant Joseph Fisher, a former Pennsylvania police officer charged with obstructing an official proceeding. The court concluded the law was only intended to apply in limited circumstances involving tampering with physical evidence. This decision could upend hundreds of January 6th cases, including that of former President Trump. Fisher's case is now headed back to a lower court under the narrowed interpretation. And looking ahead to Monday, the Supreme Court will issue its final opinions of its term, including whether former President Trump has sweeping presidential immunity that would shield him from prosecution for trying to overturn the 2020 election. 3 other decisions set to come Monday include a case involving when companies can challenge federal agency rulemaking, and 2 cases involving social media laws in Texas and Florida aimed to address complaints from conservatives. Well, still ahead on KXAN News Today, as Central Texas cities continue to grow, one community is working to balance development and their small town charms. Well, here are your Saturday morning headlines. The fallout from the first 2024 presidential debate is still ongoing, with some Democrats calling on President Biden to bow out of the race, but he says he's in it for the long haul. And the former chief of the Uvalde CISD's police force was indicted on 10 counts of child abandonment and endangerment for his role in the police response that left a classroom of students with a gunman for over an hour. And a Supreme Court verdict could majorly impact how cities deal with homelessness. The 6-3 ruling said fining and jailing homeless people for camping on public property is not cruel and unusual punishment. With the population boom we're seeing in Austin is expanding out west to the Hill Country. Our media partner, the Austin Business Journal, reports a new $130 million shopping center is headed to Marble Falls. But as Nabil Ramana explains, while the city is growing, it's hoping to keep its Hill Country charm.
There's just something special
Another favorite would be the Tuscan herb, which is fantastic for bread dipping.
about small town living.
Our motto is actually love, serve, share. I feel like it's all about loving others, serving others, and sharing experiences.
And in Marble Falls at the Oil Tap, owner Dana Lane Dorimas is gearing up for the grand opening of her second store.
I've been down here for 3 years. So within 3 years, I saw the need to open a second location.
Growth is one factor that played into her move. That growth is easy to see on the drive-in. New developments and new homes popping up all over.
Lots of movement, lots of growth.
Kelsey Shaver moved into one of those developments. That small town charm, one reason she's here.
Slower pace, and people know my coffee order, and it's just the intentionality of it being small.
The Marble Falls Economic Development Corporation says about 150 to 200 people are moving to Marble Falls each year.
And so we knew it was going to be a matter of time that the residential growth on the south side of the lake was going to be, there would be enough activity there to finally start driving some of that retail activity south as well.
New homes and retail going up could mean more people are on the way, though. But for now, that small town feel is still there.
Not being on the I-35 corridor allows Marble Falls to kind of retain some of its charm and character, as we like to say, to where we're not really being steamrolled by growth. We're seeing growth, and it's healthy, and we feel like we can accommodate most of the things that are going on.
And that's the way most people like it.
I love it because it's a small town.
In Marble Falls, Nabil Ramadna, KXAN News.
Well, the most recent population data shows that from 2022 to 2023, almost 500 new people moved to the area. Well, it takes about an hour to get to Marble Falls from Austin. The Hill Country city has seen a gradual growth over the last 6 years. The city's data shows that in 2018, a little more than 23,000 people lived in the Marble Falls zip code. As of last year, more than 25,000 called the area home, with about 8,000 people living in the town.
First warning weather with meteorologist Rich Siegel.
Good morning at 7:32. We're looking at the clouds over Fredericksburg right now. The view from the Barons Creek Vineyards location, 77 degrees right now in Fredericksburg. CoffeeCast at this hour, we are mostly cloudy in Austin, 81 degrees after yesterday's high of 100. Hometown temperatures are in the upper half of the 70s throughout most all of the Hill Country. 80 at Lomita, 82 at Kingsland are exceptions. Here in the metro area, it's 81 in Austin, as well as at Georgetown, 82 at Taylor, in Hays County, 79 both at Wimberley and at Dripping Springs. And as we take a look at the eastern viewing area, mostly 80 to 82, with a few still in the upper 70s. Afternoon forecast is going to call for the clouds to slowly diminish to a mostly sunny sky. Temperatures in the upper 90s for most of Austin and so the surrounding area. Highest heat indices between 3 and 5 o'clock will be at approximately 105 degrees. And again, a heat advisory is in effect again today. We'll detail that for you and update the tropics in just a few minutes. Sarah?
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Rich. Well, Memorial Friday afternoon honored the life of one of the mothers killed during the Juneteenth celebration in Round Rock nearly 2 weeks ago. The family of Ayra Duke gathered in Fleurville, and they asked people to wear pink because it was Duke's favorite color.
I didn't realize how much Ayra has just been so much a part of my life. When I moved into my new home, she was there. When I recently graduated from college, she was there. When I started my organization, she was there. It was just never really know how much people have impacted your life, and so I'm so grateful for all of you who have made an impact on her life, because you wouldn't be here.
Duke and Lindsay McNair were killed in the shooting. 14 others were hurt, most of them innocent bystanders. Round Rock police told us 2 groups started shooting after a fight at the event. Police have arrested a 17-year-old and another juvenile and say there could be more arrests. Well, the U.S. Build to Aid pier in Gaza has been dismantled and moved to an Israeli port as heavy storms move into the region. And now Pentagon officials aren't sure they'll reinstall it. That's because the holding area for the aid that's already been delivered is nearly full, with few supplies getting out to the Palestinians who need it. Aid agencies have had a hard time moving the food into Gaza because humanitarian convoys have come under attack. Well, back here in Texas, more than 5 million people are hitting the road this week for their 4th of July plans, and travel numbers are expected to break records across the country. KXAN traffic anchor Erica Brennis sat down with travel experts to help you prepare for your 4th of July drive.
This is a record-breaking time for Independence Day travel. 5.6 million Texans expected to leave 50 miles or more from their home on Saturday, June 29th to Sunday, July 7th. That is up 5.2% over last year and up 8.3% since 2019. 4.8 million expected to travel by car and 555,000 expected to travel by air.
This is expected to be the busiest 4th of July on record when it comes to travel volume, not only here in Texas, but across the country as well. We're looking at 71 million Americans that will be traveling this Independence Day.
Breaking down the projected numbers, travel is up 5.2% from last year and up 8.3% since 2019. Nationwide, travel by car is up 9.5% since 2019, and nationwide by air, it's up more than 12% since then.
A lot of people are prioritizing experiences in their spending, and for a lot of folks, that means travel. And so, if you had fallen asleep in February of 2020 and woken up now, and the pandemic had never happened, you really are seeing what travel would have looked like if COVID-19 hadn't taken such a hit to the industry.
And while overall travel is up, gas prices are down. The national average right now is $3.05 a gallon, but a year ago it was $3.55 a gallon. But people are not just traveling by car and plane.
A lot of people will be taking cruises. A lot of people will be traveling to the Pacific Northwest. Alaskan cruises are really popular this time of year. Also international travel. It's not just domestic travel where we see people taking trips.
And while school's out for summer, you're going to see younger drivers on the road. In fact, between Memorial Day and Labor Day, it's the deadliest time frame for teenage drivers.
On average, about 7 people are killed every day by teen drivers. If it's not the teen driver themselves, it's also other people on the road. So this affects everyone.
Wherever you're going and however you're getting there, please do so safely. In Austin, Erica Brennis, KXAN News.
Well, the surge in travel comes with good news for flyers. Domestic airfares are actually down 18% from last year, averaging $263 a ticket. But travel experts recommend booking morning and evening flights to avoid delays caused by extreme heat, and that's because extreme temperatures cause technical failures. Well, taking a deeper look at passenger traffic at Austin's airport, after 2 record-setting years in a row, 2024 is likely to be another incredibly busy year at Austin Bergstrom International Airport. Last year saw a little more than 22 million passengers fly in and out of AUS, and that's about 1 million more than the previous record set in 2022. I'm sure it's going to be intense the next couple of days at the airport.
Likely.
Yeah.
Usually is.
Yeah,
All
always
right.
kind of, it feels like it.
You got any travel plans for the summer?
No. Well, for 4th of July, I'm going to be working, so I'll be here.
Okay.
But I'm not too upset about that because traveling, just
Correct.
the traffic and stuff.
Of
But
course.
nothing much. How about you? Anything?
No, I'm not going anywhere till October.
Okay.
Although I'm going to try to sneak a weekend home at some point between the end of this month and the end of July and early August.
Nice.
Because we'll be back at full staff.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
That will be even better.
Yes, we love the sound of that.
Yes, oh boy, you have no idea. All right, before last Thursday, the drought monitor looked like this, and we looked to the biggest change happening in Gillespie County. Look at that, we lost a category. We went from severe drought in Gillespie County to moderate. There's no more drought in Travis or Williamson counties, just abnormally dry in southwestern Hays County and southern Blanco County. So good news from the drought monitor last Thursday.
Yes, we love to see it. Awesome.
Yes,
Well, coming up on KXAN News, the NFL is on the hook for almost $5 billion. Why the league is pushing back against a court ruling over antitrust laws. Welcome back to KXAN News Today. The time is 7:41. You're looking at a live look out in Llano County. Skies are looking beautiful out there this morning. One of America's biggest sports leagues is pushing back after a U.S. District Court jury ordered the National Football League to cough up close to $5 billion. That's after a ruling that the league violated antitrust laws in how it distributed its out-of-market Sunday afternoon games. News Nation's Kelsey Kernstein has the league's response and what could come next.
So the NFL is calling this verdict baseless and without merit. It could mean that the league, though, has to pay Sunday ticket fans $4.7 billion. And these damages can be tripled under the federal antitrust laws. And that adds up to more than $14 billion that the league could have to pay. The NFL responding with this statement. We are disappointed with the jury's verdict in the NFL Sunday ticket class action lawsuit. It goes on to read, we continue to believe that our media distribution strategy is by far the most fan-friendly distribution model in all of sports and entertainment. So after nearly 5 hours of deliberation, the jury found the league was guilty of conspiring with major TV broadcast partners. It was to keep the Sunday ticket package prices inflated. Now, this case put the fans up against the league. It came down to the Sunday ticket package, forcing customers to pay for games they didn't want or ask for. Subscribers also accused the league of monopolizing, restricting any competition by only offering the package to a satellite provider. To kind of break this down further, the money would go to 2.4 million residential subscribers and 48,000 businesses across the United States. And it could mean you get paid if you purchase the package from 2011 through 2022 on DirecTV. I did do the math, and that would be nearly $2,000 for some customers. The league saying that they will take this appeal all the way to the Supreme Court if they need to. Here's the thing. The judge could still toss this verdict out. Trial motions will take place at the end of July. Other sports leagues, they have been watching this suit play out very carefully. Kelsey Kernstein, News Nation.
You know what? it ain't going to rain. You're going to have to water, and you're going to have to save water. So today we're going to talk about saving water with the drip system. Okay, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to KXAN News Today. The time is 7:46. You're looking at a live picture from Paris, where the Summer Olympics will be in just a few weeks. Well, night one of the USA Women's Gymnastics Olympic trials wrapped up Friday night, but at least two of the favorites for Team USA were sidelined from the meet after getting hurt. Our Jayla Washington is there in Minneapolis with a look at what happened and night one results.
I don't think anyone expected night one to go the way that it did. A lot of stress and anxiety felt throughout the entire venue. Most of that started when Kayla DiCello, the first person to compete night one here on vault, hurt herself and was wheeled off the floor. It's still not clear what exactly happened, but DiCello, she shook her head as she looked toward her coaches, and then they helped her up. And before the competition, in warm-ups, Shalise Jones, another Team USA favorite, also appeared to hurt herself on vault. And that led to her only competing on bars night one. After all of that, it just seemed like there were lots of nerves all around from all of the women competing, including Simone Biles, who had big wobbles on beam. Still, she did finish on top, followed by her 2020 Tokyo Olympian veteran teammates Jordan Childs, Suni Lee, and Jade Carey. Jocelyn Robertson and Kayla Lincoln were in the 5th and 6th spots for the night. 3 of the top 5 women are all from Texas and train at the same gym, the World Champion Center. Here's what their coach had to say after.
It's always hard to see one of your teammates really getting hurt, and it's the second one this week, so it's becoming a little bit stressful right now.
What does that recovery period look like, keeping your gymnasts mentally strong ahead of that next competition?
We're trying to do very good recovery physically and mentally as well, and taking care of the body. And the mind needs to get away from gymnastics a little bit. Like, they need to do their job in the gym, outside the gym. They need to forget about it and think about something else.
So 1 day of rest in between night one and the next competition, but the selection committee is certainly going to have a difficult decision to make. Really no clear picture who those top 5 athletes will be representing Team USA for the women's gymnastics team. We'll have all of those results for you here on air as well as online. I'm reporting from Minneapolis in the Target Center. Jayla Washington, back to you.
gosh.
So with her in Minneapolis, there won't be a Facebook Live today for us to discuss more of the Olympics with you, but they'll be back.
Yeah.
She'll be back, I think, tomorrow. Or
Yeah,
Monday,
she'll be there, tonight. And I'm glad that she's out there, though, to really give us kind of that, first-hand account on what's going on out there. But
she's perfect for that because she's a gymnast herself.
Exactly,
so
yes.
This is a special time for her.
Yeah, to be there.
Exactly.
That's, how cool.
Exactly. Let's go back out to Lake Travis. The Oasis Restaurant weather cam showing a mostly cloudy sky right now. We were clear until about 4 or 5 o'clock this morning, and then the clouds started to roll in as they have over the last several mornings. Update from the lakes, both are falling. Travis from 634.51 and Buchanan from 1008.94. The combined storage is still 56%, but down to 1,111,000 plus acre feet of water. Today's pollen count, mold medium, grass elm and ragweed low, molds and the elm are higher today than yesterday, while the grass and the ragweed are a little lower today. All right, our temperatures during the afternoon will warm into the upper half of the 90s to a few at 100. I anticipate that once again, Camp Mabry will make 100 degrees. It will be day number 3. The heat index by noon or by 10 o'clock will find some triple digits in Fayette County, and these triple digits will continue to rise in number during the noon hour on into the middle of the afternoon. And on the highest end today from the National Weather Service, it's going to be up to about 107 to 111 with a heat advisory in effect for Milam, Lee, Fayette, Bastrop, Caldwell, Travis, Hayes, Williamson, San Saba, and Lampasas counties. Now, in the 5 counties that have not been in this heat advisory, you will have a few triple-digit heat indices, but they will stay below heat advisory criteria. Muggy meter, well, we're going to see a little bit of a break, and it won't happen, though, until early in the week when dew point temperatures fall from the 70s down into the mid-60s. That will signal lower humidity for Monday and Tuesday afternoon, so that'll make it feel a little bit better. Still, we'll have triple-digit high temperatures both days because of high pressure. That will be our main weather player. So the clouds that we have this morning will slowly thin out to a mostly sunny sky this afternoon. We'll end the day with a mostly clear sky. 10 o'clock last night, Tropical Storm Beryl was born. Winds this morning are at 60 miles per hour. The storm is moving to the west at 21. As it continues to develop, it will increase in intensity and it becomes a hurricane by late Saturday night or very early Sunday morning, and then a Category 2 hurricane with winds at 100 late Sunday night into Monday morning. Then it will continue to travel through the Caribbean, and based on its present, by the way, Thursday is as far as this model goes out, but as we get a little bit further in time, it looks like it will pass over the western side of Cuba to the west of Havana. Meanwhile, there is another system that right now is on the Yucatan that will get into the Bay of Campeche, has a 40% chance of becoming a tropical depression. If it were to become a storm once it's over the waters again, the name of the storm would be Chris, but right now they are saying just a depression. All right, again today, air quality moderate, again for fine particulate matter. From the First Warning Weather Center, again, partly to mostly cloudy now, and then we'll see decreasing clouds this afternoon with a high of 100, and then we will find a high of 99 tomorrow with a bit more cloudiness sticking around through the afternoon, and then partly cloudy to mostly sunny conditions all of next week, even on the glorious 4th of July when we're forecasting a high of 101. Well, are you planning on doing some yard work today or tomorrow? Our weekend gardener, John Dromgoole, is here, and he's going to show you an eco-friendly way to keep your plants hydrated.
Drip irrigation saves a lot of water, and that's one of the big deals these days, is how much water can we save and still be a gardener? Well, drip irrigation is probably one of the most effective ways, of many different ways, but effective one, of controlling the water. You put it where you want to, and you can use spaghetti hoses off of the main distribution line. There's so many ways to save water with irrigation of a drip type. And you can do it yourself at home. It's easy, and it's less expensive than having someone come out and do it by far. You just have to have a little patience and just get the parts. You can find them locally too. This is a company called Submatic. I've been around this company for a very long time, and here's an example of many lines coming off of the hose over here. And that hose bib right there starts out with a couple of different things. It's very important to filter the water so that the little emitters don't get clogged. They clog easy with particles. And then the other thing is a backflow preventer. You don't want that mud or anything else being sucked up into your drinking system. So you put that on there. People know about that one, but in case you didn't, it's good for this system also. This right here is a filter to also keep particulate from the city or from the calcium or whatever from going through there, okay? That's really essential. And a pressure regulator also keeps it at the low pressure that a drip system works at. They don't work at the city pressure at all. You got to throttle it down to do that. And parts for these things, you can customize the way you do it in your yard with the variety of parts that are available here and there. And so it's kind of easy to do. You just maybe need to straighten that hose out in the sun a bit, let it sit there for a while, and then it's more workable for you. So look into the drip irrigation system. Let me show you. It doesn't take long at all. You can do it yourself at home. Have the kids help you, have your wife or husband help you, or get the neighbor over because they're going to put one in too. I will see you next week somewhere in the shade.
Welcome back to KXAN News Today. The time is 7:56. You're looking at our live cam out in Lockhart. Well, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommends Americans roll up their sleeves again for the newest version of the COVID-19 vaccine. Health officials admit the need for vaccinations is not what it was at the peak of the pandemic, since most Americans have some immunity for being infected or earlier vaccinations. However, immunity fades and there are new variants popping up. There has also been a rise in COVID-related emergency room visits, although deaths and hospitalizations from the disease have hit their lowest point since 2020. Experts warned Americans to expect annual updates of the COVID vaccine similar to the flu shot. Well, still ahead on KXAN News Today, the University of Texas at Austin is hyping up their move to the Southeastern Conference with a giant party tomorrow and a special musical guest. Details ahead.